Alright, we're live from the Brojo for another episode of the Roshan Bros News. I don't know where I'm going with this right now.
Could have just added an echo. Instead, you just did it.
Yep. I am your host for tonight, and most nights.
More like
Kien.
every night.
Yeah, pretty much all
Except when you
night.
fall asleep ever so occasionally, and then we have Gil.
Kien, not Keith.
Or anybody who wants to step up to
Here
the plate and read.
today,
It's Gil,
and
yeah.
I am
I mean,
here
Max
with...
did a few times, but he's not here as often.
I am here with...
John could too. if he
Oh,
wanted
for
to.
God's sake.
I mean, I could do it, I just don't give a shit.
I mean, really, any of us could. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of who's sitting next to the computer and actually
I'm
can
always
see.
sitting next to the computer, I just don't want to do it.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Bitch, I said Eli.
That's his new intro. Bitch, I said
Leave me
Eli.
alone.
Oh, God.
Alright, and who else am I here with tonight?
Someone who's not Eli.
Two people who aren't Eli.
Great. Okay. Solid. Love it.
Best introduction of 2018.
Great intro.
That's gonna be the intro to the
We're a
best
third
of
of the way
2018.
So we are a third of the way through now.
Yeah.
He never says who he is, but say who the fuck you are.
I just did. Someone who's not Eli.
He's not wrong. He did
Got
technically
you
change
there.
it. He just wasn't specific about who he was.
Let's just move on. Come on.
And you said screw semantics.
We got business to
I
attend
was
to.
fucking talking about Spider-Man because you were talking about the semantics of how he doesn't know one Star Wars reference.
No, you
compared
still
to
said
another.
screw semantics, so we're just throwing that all out the way.
Anyway.
But that's not a semantic. Oh, homeboy. Oh my god. Alright, so, what have you guys been up to lately? Eli, you seem to tell me you've been having a busy schedule. What are you up to?
Yeah, been doing college stuff mostly. Like, not much to talk about. I've just been really busy. Doing
Mhm.
college stuff, been working, been playing a $3 game I bought on Steam called Avedon, the Black Fortress.
Solid.
It's fairly good for $3. It was fucking fantastic, but yeah.
Not much.
No,
You
not
did
really.
watch all of Dragon Ball. Like, how was that
Yeah, it was
experience?
like 2 weeks ago.
I know, but we never got into it. Like, I know you never, like, explained whether you liked it or not, because I think we were like,
I liked it after I came to terms with how stupid it was.
what made it stupid to you?
Well, you see, there's dinosaurs running around that's just not addressed. Everything is just directional. It's like, oh, that's West City. It's like west of.
Oh man, you're totally gonna love
I
the
know-
Planet of the Kais then.
I know they do that with like the Kais and the galaxies as well somehow. I know there's a North Galaxy and a fucking stupid shit like that. Other than that, Yamcha beats up children. That's probably my favorite part. That's really.
Have you got
early
to
on.
Heffel yet in Dragon Ball Z?
No.
Home
No,
for
or-
Infinite Losers?
No. No, Dragon Ball Z so far, to where they're just about to beat Nappa, because I do have some knowledge.
Oh,
of
okay, so
Dragon
you
Ball
did
Z.
pass. You did pass through when Goku goes to Heffel.
Hell.
Hell.
Oh, well,
Home
yeah,
for Infinite Losers. The censor
Oh.
bars changed it to Heffel.
I guess, yeah. No, I don't fucking know. They
I'm
have
glad.
hell on their shirts.
Yeah, no, in the new Funimation one they did, but like when the Toonami first aired it,
Oh, okay.
They
It
were
was Heffel.
it was Heffel.
Fucking weird, but
Heffel
whatever.
Puff.
Heffel. I really want to get that Heffel shirt. Like that's on my Amazon like wish list of things I want to get. Like Dragon Ball nerd shirts I want. Heffel is on there.
You have issues.
I have like 12 Capsule Corp shirts, so I don't know what you want from me,
It's
Gil.
weird. But yeah, so it was a lot more. Like part of the reason I stopped watching was because I've just been busy with work and school. But I don't know. I have knowledge of Dragon Ball Z of this part up until they beat Cell pretty much, and so it's not as interesting to me. It's not brand new. Like Dragon Ball, I really didn't know what to expect except some of the characters. You know, like Tien shows up and I'm like, he's gonna be a good guy eventually.
It's John Dean.
Hello, are you guys recording?
Yeah.
Goddamn right I am.
Lol.
Hey, he's just explaining how Dragon Ball is so weird.
It is
Which series?
Dragon Ball.
I mean, lol.
Hey, I'm
I'm not
also.
saying it's not weird, but
There's dinosaurs. Yamcha tries to beat up children. He does beat up children.
yeah, you do.
Roshi destroys an entire city block.
And
with
then-
Roshi beats
Kamehameha
up-
waves himself
Roshi
back to the fucking.
Beats up children too.
And
Yeah, but he's
and like
training.
persuades
Yeah,
a
that's true.
16-year-old to flash him. So
yeah, that.
Goku puts
that
his
too,
head
but,
in a
like,
vagina,
I shit you not. Like the first
and then he
time.
pats it too.
Yeah, but the first time Yamcha fucking meets Goku, he's like, "Oh, I'll fight you to the death for that power pole." It's like, you're gonna fight a child to the death for the power pole? What the fuck?
I was watching something that is based
Which
off
podcast
of
are we doing right now?
the news.
Oh, okay. Did you guys already do video games then?
No,
Oh, okay.
we got done recording the Avengers spoiler because we didn't want to ruin it for you.
Oh,
So,
I don't really care that much.
it's a good movie.
It's fucking Avengers.
Zach, bring up
man.
the
It's
list. Tell
probably
him who
gonna-
dies.
It's fine with me.
Don't, not on this one. Not on the
Oh
news.
yeah, probably not
Not on
gonna
the
be
news.
on air.
We literally set spoilers for the talk we did.
And I hope you put in all caps on the title.
Yeah, no, it says spoilers with asterisks right before everything else, just to let everyone know.
And
Hey,
then we'll still get complaints that we spoiled the movie.
It
Yeah.
happens.
yeah, but no, like in general, like while Eli was watching a good adaptation of Journey to the West, Netflix just released this piss poor adaptation to Journey of the West called The New Adventures of Monkey.
I prefer the
Never
one with
even
Jackie
heard of
Chan.
What?
I've
The
never
Forbidden
heard of
Kingdom?
that.
Oh, it just came out.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a New Zealand based like live action 24-minute like fucking fucking adaptation of Journey. It's so bad. The acting is so bad. Like the martial arts are kind of cool in some parts, especially the bow step fighting parts, but like I can't
Take it seriously.
seriously with their like acting. They're like so wooden and it's just
Yeah, shove that burrito in your mouth.
Lol.
But besides that, like I really haven't been doing much. I've just
Why did we get back to you all of a sudden? We were in the middle of Eli.
he said he was done.
I didn't know.
Oh, but yeah.
I am
Not
not
all about
but I
you,
never
Kien.
said that. Yeah.
Oh, well,
I don't know where I was at.
We were
So,
talking about
don't
Goku
know.
and Yamcha fighting each other and
Go
Goku
Power
being a
Pole.
small child and Power Pole, yeah. So, yeah, I finished Utanya, I guess.
Oh, are you guys just doing what you've been up to this week?
Yeah. So that was okay. What about you, Gil? What have you been up to?
Yawning.
What about you, Zach? Work?
Yep,
Yeah.
you hit the nail on the head.
Hey, John. You have not been here. You actually will wait for the video game to talk about PAX.
Are we not
But
gonna
I
ask
mean,
Gil
yeah, I've been
what
up
he's
to a
been
lot of shit, so.
yeah, so what have you been up to? We'll talk about
Summarize
PAX.
it in
We'll
20
talk,
words.
we'll talk about PAX when
You.
when we get to the video game stuff.
Well, yeah, obviously I went to PAX.
What have you been up
Other than that, playing a lot of Magic.
Are you good at
Yay.
balloon animals right now, or with your magic
No,
thing?
not that Magic.
Okay.
Deck of cards
Yeah,
to do tricks.
How many rabbits can you pull out of your hat right now?
62.
Okay.
You gotta get that
And they
number
don't
up
come
7.
out of my hat.
Out of your anus?
They come out of a hat that has a pocket dimension that leads to my anus.
Okay. Call back.
The size of a pocket, specifically.
How do you fit 62 bunnies in that?
Because
Magic.
at the end of the pocket is another pocket dimension that leads into my asshole, which is the size of a very large pocket.
It's like a weird Doctor Strange.
Aha.
It's an endless loop kind of thing.
Oh. I feel bad for those bunnies.
So 62
Oh, they're
rabbits is
dead.
just what I've pulled out at
They
this time.
suffocate.
Yeah.
As they
It could
go
probably
into
fit
this.
more in there.
Oh yeah, no, that's exciting.
So-
The magic. How's that? Are you gonna try to do competitive this year? Then? or-
Yeah, there's a tournament next weekend, so I won't be here again. Because it's in Sioux Falls and it's 2 days. Lol. No, that's actually like kind of funny because that was one of the things I was struggling with. Was anytime I was building a deck, I was thinking pretty much similarly to how I would be thinking to build a deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, and so I was basically just racking up losses all the time. And now I'm kind of like getting into that spot where it's like I stop and I think, okay, just because this sounds good in the context of like a Yu-Gi-Oh playstyle doesn't mean it's gonna work in Magic. So
You don't have like a ghost sidekick that you can just summon to help you?
oh no, not like that. It's like in Magic, a lot of the abilities sound really subtle, whereas in Yu-Gi-Oh, they're like,
In your face.
this ability is literally shoved down your throat, out your asshole, like that much in your face.
Like a Yu-Gi-Oh ability card is basically like, it's just like this, but like 10 more things that just rape you.
I mean, we still don't even know what Pot of Greed does.
And then Magic, there are like Magic cards that are like, basically the only thing that you can do with them is you can flip the top card of your deck up, look at it, and be like, okay, I want this next turn, and leave it there. Or you can be like, I don't need this or want this right now, put it at the bottom of your deck. And that shit is super useful. Whereas in Yu-Gi-Oh, that would be like, you do that, and you'd be like,
I have to discard it now.
well, no, it would just be like, that doesn't matter enough to be running it. You would need it to be like, look at the top card of your deck. If you want, you can put it on the bottom. Then do 2,000 damage to your opponent and special summon 6 monsters. And then it would be useful. Because Yu-Gi-Oh's broken as shit. But you have to think that it's broken as shit.
Is that what you're learning comparatively to Magic, or have you all...
No, that's just... I've kind of always known that, but like when I'm building decks, I'm like not really thinking about it as much, especially in like draft or sealed play, because I have like maximum like 30 minutes to, depending on what the type of sealed the format is. Whereas like the pre-release was like you had 50 minutes to build your deck.
Sweet goodness.
And it goes by really fast actually. And so I would be kind of like rushing it, and I've just kind of gotten to a mode where I'll like rush out what I'm doing, but then I'll stop and I'll look it all over and I'll be like, okay, this actually doesn't work.
Yeah, I went to
I'll
an
rethink
X-Wing
it.
event with Jay that was like at 2 days, and it was like, good God, if you're not playing or know how to play, there is like, the time just slows down. Whereas you kind of Eli's attention with all your Magic talk.
Did an apple there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I've played Magic for a long time. I just don't care. Like, I don't know. Once something like that goes competitive, it's just boring as shit to me. Because it's just like anything else. You're just gonna see the same shit over and over.
Yeah, no, I
And
totally
it's just
agree.
based off of luck at that point.
Yeah. Like, because the tournament next weekend is in modern format.
Yeah.
And we're all basically like running
Pretty gay.
preset decks and shit like that. But
You don't play Commander, do you?
I don't right now because Commander decks are kind of expensive to build.
Yeah,
You want a good one?
Yeah, because the last time I was at the shop, someone was like, I spent $100 on this card. I'm like, oh, good Christ.
Yeah, no, like that's that seems like a lot, yeah. But the nice thing about spending that much money on a Magic card is like, if a Magic card hits like $80, it's pretty much going to be worth at least that amount for like ever. You're not going to lose money on something like that. There's a chance. Like, it doesn't they're usually really good about it. It's like, it doesn't happen very often.
They remake a lot of stuff.
Well,
though.
yeah, but it's usually because it
Sets.
it runs out of set rotation, so they kind of have to reprint it to keep it in the game.
Yeah.
Like, modern's usually fine, but standard sets usually only last like 2 or 3 years. So like standard format is like constantly recycling stuff, and like, but I like standard a lot because you can spend like $250 to like $400 on a deck, and then just like replace like 3-4 cards, so like $30-$35 every year, and then you're good. Modern's like 1,000 to like 1,500 to 1,800 for a deck, and then you're only like replacing like $100 to $200 worth of cards every like maybe 2, 3, 4 years.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
His face.
Yeah, but again,
I know it's expensive. That's why I think it's just
yeah,
the dumbest
it's
fucking
really
thing.
expensive. The plus side is that if you are going to put the money into competitive
Probably
Magic,
win some back.
you're gonna be winning money back.
Unless
Like-
you're just really bad at the game.
Like there's a standard tournament here in town that's put on by Game State on like June 2nd or something like that. First place is $1,000. It's standard format. That's like 3, possibly 4 standard decks, or a really good chunk out of a modern deck. And modern tournaments, more money in those prize pools. And these are like shit that's going on like all the time. So there's plenty of games to go to. I mean, we're going to a modern tournament in Sioux Falls next weekend.
Is that you and Hale or no?
A bunch of us from Game State. So I'm still kind of on the fence on going. It's more than likely I'm going, but the problem is I don't have a deck right now, and we're still working on putting one together. But Hale has to work, so I think we have an extra burn deck that I'll be able to run, but I'm not entirely sure.
Anyone else besides me sell their Yu-Gi-Oh cards as kids after like?
Actually, that's another thing that I've been up to is I recently started selling a bunch of shit on TCG Player, and like my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff is fucking flying off the shelves.
Right.
Surprisingly enough, like it's always like $7 here, $8 there. Every once in a while, I'll sell like a $12 card, but it's like I've sold so much of that shit that it's like fucking paying off hard. And that's where I've been finding some of the funding for like building my standard deck for June.
I remember when I sold my Pokemon cards as an adult, not as an adult, as a child, and like, guess how much money I made?
$20.
No,
100.
Not even that, I don't know.
no,
100.
1,700.
1,007. No, I made $40
Cool.
selling like all my
That
Pokemon
wasn't
cards.
that close.
That's kind of the sucky thing about Pokemon. Is like I have a lot of shit that's like this one card is worth like 30 to like $60.
Yeah. See, but that's the
Like I
thing.
have
Like,
a fuck ton of stuff. like that.
I traded them in bulk, and then like as an adult, I realized what cards I had that were like first edition that like child Kien would not have thought about. But like I was like, I don't play Pokemon anymore. I'll just sell.
It's
these
kind of
at
one
the
of
pawn
those.
shop.
Oh, I need to remember to take those. I point for people
Those
listening
cards?
at home.
The
Yeah,
Pokemon cards?
I'm pointing at a bunch of fucking
Cards.
Pokemon cards in a tub
Yeah.
over there because I figured out a way that I can make custom playmats out of cards and shit. So
Your fucking face right now.
like game playmats for other card games. All right,
I
fine.
don't know, John. I might want to sell those.
There's nothing in there that's valuable, especially because that circular tub is full of bent as shit cards.
I don't know, John. I might want to sell those.
I mean, fine if you want.
A
you
dollar
can
for
try,
each card
but-
will get you
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's not gonna get $1
Not
for
a
each
dollar.
card,
You get,
especially
like, a
those
nickel.
especially those bent ones. You're gonna sell those for a nickel, and people are gonna
Flatten
give
them
you
back out.
people are gonna give you a bad rating because they're bent, even though they spent a nickel on it. I was pissed. Somebody bought like $3.50 worth of cards from me.
And they gave
It's
you a bad rating.
one fucking card. No, they gave me a decent rating still, but they gave me 4 stars instead
my
of 5
Because you are a 5-star duelist, John.
because I sent it in an envelope instead of like a top loader envelope with like a hard case sleeve. I'm like, you bought a $3 card and you are asking for $4.50 worth of packaging. I will literally, I have your address. I will literally drive to your house and murder the shit out of you. I literally like posted like a store comment on his comment. I'm like, orders under $5 do not justify a top loader envelope or a hard case sleeve. Like, your shit's not gonna get fucking bent in the mail if it comes in an envelope. I guarantee fucking to you. Especially because I use like a smaller size envelope, so it fits better into with the.
Oh, I have a
with
shit
other
ton of
stuff.
magic cards you can
Somehow
sift through
just
too
roll up into a
sometimes.
ball.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I like having a bunch of commons and shit like that too, because like,
No, I mean like I have a shit ton of magic cards you can sift through sometimes.
oh, are you just like telling me to take them or what?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll take them. Like I said, I like having a bunch of commons because then I can just throw together fucking bullshit homebrews and shit like that.
Oh, I thought you said
anytime.
comments. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I was like, oh, you like having negative comments on your things? I mean, like I can get that creative criticism and stuff like
He
that.
likes to look at the comments. He's like, look at all these comments.
Yes.
Look at all these comments. I get to respond.
Praise me.
Unlimited power.
A lot of like one of the things that I want to talk about when we get to.
Oh
this-
yeah. Anyways, yeah, you can finish.
Oh no, go on.
Oh yeah. What I was saying with the Pokemon stuff is like, I have like easily like $900 worth of cards that are like just a stack of cards that are like alone worth like $50 a piece, somewhere in that range, and I've got them listed, and like they just don't sell. Like they're worth the money, but nobody's fucking buying them. And it kind of sucks because right now the Pokemon TCG is kind of slow, but I don't know. Basically, we're in that like weird spot where we're like between main series games, or well, not really like between main series games, but like it's been a while since we've had a main series game, and so basically everything Pokemon is slow right now. That's kind of the shitty thing about like a TCG that's based off like a video game, is it's like when you're waiting for the new game, everything's slow. So I'm assuming that like once the new game hits, everybody's gonna be buying a shit ton of Pokemon cards again.
Oh man, I can't wait. There's gonna be like a Pokemon card, Pokemon.
I
How
don't know.
meta would that fucking be, though?
I'm really excited for.
I mean, there's Mimikyu.
I'm really excited for a potentially new Pokemon game because it's gonna be on the Switch. Anybody that thinks it's not's retarded.
I mean, everything's gonna
physically
be on
and
the Switch.
mentally.
Yeah, everything's gonna be on the Switch.
Not everything, because
Alright.
there's still support with 3DS.
In summary, card games suck. They're worth a depressing amount of money. First trailer.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, we saw the Venom trailer. I don't know. Did you see it yet? Or?
Yeah, I saw the Venom trailer. I got in an argument with someone over Facebook because of this trailer.
And then they threw
Because
the
they're
Venom
like-
trailer at you.
No, it was a comment on the trailer.
Oh my god, you fucking siped through comments on the trailer?
No, someone that I'm friends with on Facebook
Okay.
shared it.
Leaving them
And-
a 4-star review.
One of their dude, that pissed me off. He's like, you're gonna take away my star because of your bullshit fucking thought process. Like, fuck you, dude.
Venom trailer didn't come in a hard case.
Yeah, exactly.
Venom trailer was a low resolution.
The hard case and the envelope are worth more than the card.
Alright, go back on with
Anyways,
your Venom stuff.
yeah, so she shared the fucking video, and then one of her friends commented on it. I don't think this is good because they're not putting Spider-Man in it, and Venom as a villain doesn't make sense without Spider-Man.
She's
That
dumb.
is- that is-
Bitch, you are fucking
Anti-hero in
retarded.
there.
That is pretty.
Well, that's the thing too, is she's like, he's not like a hero or an anti-hero who could like stand on their own. I'm like,
He's an anti-hero.
fuck it, he is! Like, the
Yeah.
symbiote is like a good entity. Like, basically, like, the symbiotes are like the Green Lanterns of the fucking Marvel universe. They
I would
well,
I would
it's
see
kinda
the counter
true.
argument that Eddie Brock in himself is a good person.
Well, that's the thing is
symbiote
that-
at the no, let me explain. Eddie Brock got the symbiote at a time of amplified rage
Well,
towards
yeah,
Spider-Man.
that's the thing, is the symbiote's always just like mixed with really shitty people.
Yeah, because like,
Except for Carnage, he's pretty not cool. Well, I mean, he's cool. He's like cool as fuck, but
he's like evil.
not
He's
good.
straight evil.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Fucked up.
straight
Well, that's what I
evil.
mean. Like the fucking
Both
the
the symbiote
symbiote.
and the guy.
The symbiotes are kind of like the Green Lantern, or not literally, just the Green Lanterns, but like the Lanterns of the Marvel universe. 'Cause
Where the
they have like
the
they have like different ones that measure different kind
The
of.
symbiote that Venom technically has in the comic book is basically just a shitty ex-girlfriend that wants to prove
Yeah.
her old boyfriend that she's better now.
And then there's
That's
like,
basically what Venom was.
then there's
when it
like
started.
Venom Knight, where he's basically just a good guy.
Yeah. But my thing about Venom is that, like, he can't ever be a straight hero because he's straight up, like...
Murders people
Yeah,
and
he
shit.
eats people. That's,
Yeah.
like, my one thing. Like, everyone's like, man, Venom's such a good hero. I'm like, no. Venom's an anti-hero. just as equivalent as the Punisher is an
Yeah.
anti-hero because they kill people. There's no way. They just kill people.
Yeah.
And like here's my only complaint about this though, is that like I think they play Eddie Brock too much of a nice guy, whereas like in the comic books he is kind of a douche. That's where I stand. That's like my only if on it.
I could see getting that from the trailer. I just think kind of like the difference is that there's probably a little bit more to the movie yet.
Right. And
Because he does kind of seem like a scumbag-ish type in the trailer too. Like, pretty much like the only thing that he's kind of been doing at this point is like that we can kind of tell that makes him kind of goody two shoes is that he doesn't want the Venom thing to fucking just murder the shit out of everybody.
Right.
And I mean that could literally be anything, but he kind of like seemed like a bum, shit like that.
I think he
Obviously he's
well he's a reporter that like digs dirt on people, so he obviously has that going for him.
And then I mean this is at the point where he's angry at Peter Parker, obviously, because I think they mentioned that in the trailer at some point or something.
Oh
I
no!
can't
See, there's no
remember.
association with Spider. Like,
Oh, so they're not even gonna just like
No.
bring him up?
They're, like-
Okay, I figured.
That would break the cinematic universe because
Right.
Peter Parker's only 15.
where it says
Oh, yeah,
Marvel,
true.
the trailer says in association.
Well,
with
and I
Marvel.
think Sony's doing this one too, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah, and then Spider-Man's MCU right now.
And
so-
like as I was telling them, the thing that got me though is like, you know, remember when we first reported on this? It was like it's gonna be feeling like a straight up horror, where like this feels more like an action movie.
Yeah.
I think that was the only thing that I said that was kind of like saddening to me, is that I was like really hoping for like a Cronenbergian style semi horror. This seems like there's a strong possibility it might
He
lead.
still looks like he's gonna eat people.
Mhm.
I mean, they may
Right.
just
Like,
be
yeah,
throwing
When he
us
turns
off.
into when he turns into Venom at the end, he's tonguing that guy up good.
Yeah, well-
he also looks like he's
and
eating
again-
a penis during
again,
that
too-
scene too. So
Again, too, I'm going to go with the assumption that they are not going to wait till like the last 5 minutes to just like full on Venom
which
it
is
up.
perfectly fine.
I'm gonna assume that they're going to be doing that pretty early on. So I'm thinking that like most of what we saw is gonna be like not necessarily like slower parts of the movie, but most of what we saw was not very Venom heavy, other than like the last like 4 seconds of the trailer.
Which I can.
So I'm gonna assume there is a lot more of Venom in that movie
I'm
than
scared
that.
that there isn't, which would be terrible.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
make the movie bad.
Because
I'm
there's a
pretty
lot
sure
of
they're
parts
just-
where he's using the symbiote, but he's not Venom.
Mm-hmm.
I think
It's
they're just doing this to drum up some support for it because most people are expecting a comic book movie to have action rather than a horror aesthetic, so they might just be doing that. And then
Right, no, and I 100% agree with that. Where like, I think I liked the first Venom trailer because it alluded to the symbiote actually existing. Where like, I think last week Zach, Eli, and I were talking that like I personally feel like some trailers take a lot, like bring too much of that movie, like
You guys
Jurassic.
listening to that new Post Malone album?
No,
No.
It's like right there in the
Oh.
search bar thing.
where
It might be Jay.
it's their trending videos, but
Beer
like,
bongs and Bentleys.
Get the hell up.
That album sucks.
but
Very disappointing. It's so boring. It's like fucking.
No one gives a fuck about Post Malone, his
12.
ugly ass face. Now. Get the hell up.
You don't have to be mean about it.
God.
doesn't disagree, just thinks you can be more tactful
Fucking
about it.
Christ.
Fine, whatever. All right.
I'm personally looking forward to it just to prove me wrong
The
because
new
I
Post album?
Venom movie, the Venom movie,
I
the
know, I'm
fucking
kidding.
Venom movie.
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Then we go into Crazy Rich Asians, and this one is
Weird.
The Kien and Zach film.
it's the Kien and Zach film because Zach is the bougie Asian.
What?
Sorry, not the bougie. You're the Asian. Yeah, you're the bougie because like you're the
What?
not knowing of Asian culture Asian. Where
So
I
he's the girl who's marrying into the family?
yeah, he's the one.
Twinkie?
Yeah, he's the Twinkie. He's yellow on the outside but white on the inside, and like my mom actually showed me this trailer.
Oh god.
She's like, "Oh, this movie looks interesting." I'm like, "No, this doesn't. This
Was
movie
she then
looks."
like, Kien, you should find a rich Asian family to marry into.
No, I think she's like expecting me to get married. She's like, "Marriage, huh?" I'm like, "No." Not for a
Be
while.
Married by the time this movie comes out.
Better. No, like
Kick your ass.
I think it's an interesting concept. It's like, here's where I stand. We've had this conversation. It's like, this is like, I guess, I don't know what they're trying to do, because like, if I know most Asian people, they don't really go out to movies very often. So like, they're trying to make like a Tyler Perry-esque movie about Asian American culture
Well, it's not.
But without Tyler Perry.
without
It's
Tyler
not-
Perry.
But it's
I haven't seen the trailer.
Jackie Chan.
I have no idea what
Crazy
this
Rich
movie is
Asians.
actually about. I'm gonna tell you right now, the target demographic is not Asians.
No, it's not. It's
It's women.
It's white people. Well, yeah, women
Probably.
probably.
It looks like a very, very mediocre comedy. At
Mhm.
first, I was like, "Oh, this could be funny," and then it just wasn't. The rest of it, it got kind
Is
of.
it like
got
that-
kind of more
it-
serious? It was like, "Oh, the family doesn't accept me." And it just became like a drama, and I was like, "This now sucks."
Is it as bad
See,
as
like-
looking at the Amy Schumer poster?
Nothing's as bad as Amy Schumer.
Well, maybe like gonorrhea.
No.
You'd rather have gonorrhea than look at Amy Schumer?
Well, like Amy Schumer in person, yeah, for sure. I could
Yeah, definitely.
Probably rather look at the poster than have gonorrhea.
Like gonorrhea goes away eventually, but
Oh my
There
god.
you go.
dude, Amy Schumer's fucking retarded. I don't like her either. Anyways, there's like a benefit to Tyler Perry movies. Like they're honestly not very good.
Funny for white people.
No, it's like the opposite. Like black people generally actually like seem to think they're pretty funny. I see more white people that don't like Tyler Perry movies.
Because it's not supposed to be. It's not,
I don't either.
It's not
they're
linked.
not very.
It's not supposed to be for white people though. I
Well,
think
that's
like,
that's the thing. I mean, it's a movie. They're movies written by a black person to
Who
be
has-
black comedies.
Yeah, like that.
So,
Like the only one that I feel like
they're not like movies that I personally enjoy, but it's
Did
like
you like
I,
Big Mama's House?
Yeah, I actually did like
okay,
that
see,
one.
like that movie's meant for white
and then
people.
I think he made Norbit too, didn't he?
No, that's Eddie Murphy.
No,
See,
he
Eddie
made that
Mur-
movie.
yeah.
I thought he was just in it.
No, no, Eddie
They all
Murphy.
look the same to you, John.
Murphy played like
True.
3 roles in that
Here's
movie.
the
and
thing
one of
about
them was an Asian.
so like
Well, see,
there's
that
the
was the
difference
one
between-
thing that I liked about that movie is because it was like starring Eddie Murphy as this, and starring Eddie Murphy as this, and starring Eddie Murphy as this, and I was like, okay, you got my attention. I'm gonna watch it.
This is why
It
you
was-
also watched The Nutty Professor 1 and 2 is because it's
Yeah.
like Eddie Murphy starring as every obese black person in this movie.
Well, no, it was just because he's like every single character. So it was like Nutty Professor, I think is good. Norbit, I was like, this is really dumb.
yeah, he got snubbed by the Oscars because of Norbit. Like he did really good in Dreamgirls, and then Norbit came out. They're like, nah.
I mean, I can understand like their thought process, but like that's not fair.
Anyway, Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'm really excited. I guess for
You're
me,
excited about this?
I'm excited.
you're not even their
about it.
target demographic.
I like.
Get
He might
out of
be.
here. Their target demographic is Asians who are also kind of white.
That's probably
I'm a
good-
shoo-in then.
True, actually.
Heck yeah! No, like it just. I don't know. Some of the shit they say kind of reminds me of what my mom says, so it's kind of like, okay, I fucking get where they're coming from. Like, whereas like I was gonna say this seems like a movie written by Asian Americans for Asian Americans, whereas Eddie Murphy movies is a black dude writing for white people. Like Nutty Professor was not.
I mean, it's not that hard though, is
But
it?
you understand what I mean. Where Tyler Perry, you can tell it's like predominantly that is going to be meant for
He gets the humor.
the African American.
Well, it's not necessarily that it's like made for this specific target demographic. It's just that he's making what's funny to him, and then
Of course,
the
funny.
African American demographic is generally like, I'm relate to that humor or whatever. Like obviously he has a lot of like hit and miss movies, but it's like some of his movies nobody likes.
like Medea Boo 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Eventually,
like
they're
some
gonna come
of
out
the
with
people
Medea,
do.
Electric Boogaloo.
Then we go to Woman's Walk Ahead. It's basic. Okay, so this is a biographical pic of a woman who wants to paint
Sitting
sitting bull.
Well, other than Venom, I haven't seen or heard of any of these on the list, so.
Oh, my apologies.
No, it's fine. Like I'll fucking put in my 2 cents anyways. But
You're not missing out on much.
yeah, it looked usually like movies that are like one word, and that's the movie title. Or like,
Well,
or,
this is 4.
well, yeah, I was gonna say, or if it's like 4 or 5, they're usually like, you're not gonna like these.
She's just a lady. Like it's a drama. And like I don't know.
That has no actual bearing because Crazy Rich Asians is 3 words, and I don't give a fuck about that either.
Caught your attention though.
And Venom's 1, and I'm super into that.
God damn it.
Literally just contradict myself right there.
Yeah.
2 words is all you get.
Then we go into Kien, guys.
They're gonna
The
separate
movie
all
Just
where
skipped Women's Walk Ahead.
Well, I mean, it looks kind of interesting, but there's not much that they can really do with it.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, Custer is going to attack them, and they're going to die.
Yeah, Custer's an asshole. So
Alright.
was an asshole.
I don't think he's in that movie.
no, I'm just saying.
It's
He
just the
said,
7th Cavalry is
Yeah.
pissed off and they want to kill Sitting Bull.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were just. He's like Custard sucks. I'm like, yeah, Custard was an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was played by Bill
Mostly
Hader
he was
in Night at
just
the Museum,
dumb.
which I enjoyed.
He was played by who?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
Yeah, Bill Hader played Custard in Night at the Museum. But back to Kien, where apparently adopted brothers get super space weapons, and
We
they
don't know if they're adopted. We don't know who the mother is.
I personally think that the suit that the kid wears kind of looks like Ant-Man.
It's not his suit.
That's,
He doesn't
yeah,
get
no,
a
that's
suit.
the
He
guy
just gets
hunting him
gun.
for the
Okay,
gun.
yeah, the dude who's hunting him
Yeah,
kind
he
of looks
picks
like
up a
Ant-Man.
gun
My
from
bad.
somewhere and then a guy's just hunting him
My
down.
bad. What did you say he looked like?
Doom guy or Master Chief?
I don't think he looks like Master Chief at all.
this gives us a chance to have that Halo movie we have all wanted, guys.
I'm not seeing this.
Fortunately,
We got that already.
The guy who was going to make that movie, made Radical Heights. So. It's Cliff Bleszinski.
Oh. It was like, I know the answer to this.
He also made
I can't think of
Lawbreakers.
it. Well, he did Gears of War also.
I don't know. That movie looks like it's something straight for Netflix. It
Yeah.
doesn't look very good.
Yeah, it looks really weird and just out of the blue.
Then we go to Smallfoot, guys. Channing Tatum is a Yeti, and Common's in it, Zach.
Cool. I don't listen to Common.
Oh, really?
I mean,
I didn't.
It doesn't really look that good.
It's a
Sorry.
dumb
No.
movie. It's a dumb concept.
It's
It can go
basically
fuck
Yetis
itself.
think that people are their Bigfoot, so they call them Smallfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
like.
It's-
I mean, that.
I wanted to give you the look.
It's
Gil,
retarded.
there was a joke Gil laughed at, and I was like, Gil might see this and enjoy it.
What,
It doesn't-
Smallfoot?
Yeah.
It doesn't look that good.
Well, I don't think any
The
animated
animation's
movie is
decent,
good.
but,
Like,
eh.
I mean, it's a Warner Brothers animation, so I might give it a shot because like Warner Brother has been like killing it with their animation game lately.
That's because they've been sticking to Lego.
Yeah.
Can you really mess up Lego?
Yeah.
Batman, Lego Batman.
That was a decent movie. You shut your poor mouth.
It was okay.
It was a decent movie. You shut
was
your poor
okay.
mouth.
Okay, and decent.
Here's-
Like the same thing. I don't know
Here's
what you guys are arguing.
here's how I
means
know
it's
I
good.
didn't like Lego Batman is because I really liked Lego Ninjago more than I liked Lego Batman.
So did he.
I haven't seen Lego Ninjago.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Oh.
You've been spreading lies for 3 weeks, Zach.
I'm sorry. I thought Gil went to go see Lego Ninjago.
He did. He said he liked Lego. You said you liked Lego Ninjago better than Lego Batman, right?
Yeah, because Lego Batman was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Lego Ninjago wasn't great, but it was at least like.
None of this is great.
I'm sorry. I thought
No,
you told me you
These
were going to go see
movies,
Lego
this
Ninjago.
conversation.
My
gonna-
favorite. No. Here's what
This
brings me
country.
to like Lego Ninjago so much is that
No spoilers, please.
I don't know if this is a spoiler, but it's a fucking
It's
solid
been out
joke.
for like a year.
Yeah, it's a fucking
I
solid.
haven't seen it.
It's a fucking solid.
It's your
No.
own fault.
Yeah, it's a fucking solid joke because this is one of the clips they showed on YouTube, so it doesn't count as a spoiler. But Lloyd is trying to
It
find
doesn't
out.
matter.
Yeah, Lloyd is trying to find out his element, and he's like, "What element am I? Fire, ice, surprise?" And Jackie Chan's like, "No, that's the Fuchsia Ninja." And the Fuchsia Ninja just shows up and says, "Surprise!" and then disappears. I'm like, that fucking got me. I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
I do remember that actually.
I don't take much
Now
stock
I
in
want to
that.
see that movie really
You
bad.
said Thor Ragnarok was funny.
Walmart.
Yeah, that's true, you
down
did
the
say
street.
that.
I thought Thor Ragnarok was funny, and I can admit that Thor movie was not for everyone. I did not like
The
Thor 1 and
funniest
2.
part was when Bruce fucking jumped out of the jet and
Belly
bounced.
Yeah, I did not like Thor 1 and 2. And so I
don't
like
like
this
you.
a lot
It's
more
so funny
than
how you called
yeah.
that.
Don't like your
Really
kind
not.
around here.
So then we go into news, and Harrison Ford joins Illumination's Secret Life of Pets 2 for his first ever voice role. in
I was
an
gonna say
animated
something about
feature.
I'd
Ninjago.
rather if he didn't.
But go
I
on.
liked Lego Ninjago because I don't want to say I liked it because it was also a little bit on the boring side most of the time, but I'm not in its target demographic. Lego Batman was like, I saw the jokes coming like 7-8 minutes before they made them.
Oh man, that's all Marvel movies.
Well, yeah, this was technically not a Marvel movie. This was DC.
Well, I'm not
Anyways,
just saying.
yeah,
that
no,
humor is
you
shit.
are correct. But like, it was like, these are the jokes that people make on the internet about Batman. Let's make sure we make those, and then that's all they did.
Did he say he was Batman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh shit.
Dead parents, check.
I actually don't know if they made one of those
Send this
because
one.
they did that in the other Lego movie.
Oh yeah.
Lego Ninjago was like, I didn't see every joke coming. There was a couple in there that I was like, I laughed at that.
Surprise!
Yeah, that one I didn't really laugh at. But like when they were like, when his arm gets like pops off, and they're like, "Is it bad? Is it bad? Is it bad?" And he's just like missing an arm. Like that made me laugh because it was funny, and I can't really remember a
Damn
whole
it,
lot
now
of
I
other
want to
stuff.
see this
but-
too.
Alrighty, so
But yeah, Lego Batman, boring as fuck, super predictable. Lego Ninjago wasn't as predictable, so that's why I like that more.
solid.
I also just really don't like Batman that much, as we've clearly pointed out before. in the
Yeah, we
past.
had a comment that you weren't here for from Fictional Fight Club about us having a bias against Batman.
Well, yeah, it's fine, but he's not that great. Like, I don't give a shit what I want to know what the comment is, but I don't give a shit about it.
Basically, just suggesting that we had a bias against Batman.
Yeah.
That's-
Because
I mean, we kind of do because
because-
he's a shitty hero.
because Eli did more research on Batman compared to what Gil brought up on Moon Knight. So, in context,
I apologize.
Batman. I'm not
Sorry.
saying it's not your
It's
fault.
not really
No
your
need
fault.
to because
There's
you
just-
still won.
It's your fault.
There's so much more
Sorry.
bullshit on Batman than there is on Moon Knight.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
He
so
wears rags.
Oh, no, it
Harrison
just
Ford-
came down to we didn't give him
Yeah.
prep time. Whatever.
He
Harrison
found his
Ford is
ear.
part of the Secret Life of Pets 2, which no longer has Louis C.K., so I don't know what's going to happen.
I was really surprised to hear that this was like his first animated film.
Oh yeah, they don't count that shitty Star Wars.
The Christmas special?
Yeah, because he did a voice part during a cartoon section.
Yeah.
So like that should count as I don't know.
No one counts that Christmas special.
So they're actually in talks for a Morbius the Living Vampire movie. Rumors are it's supposed to be set in the Venom universe. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how you should do
I was
that.
gonna say, I was like, that seems a bit premature since the Venom movie has not had time to either flop or do
Succeed.
amazing things. Yeah.
Turns out that's gonna be the after credit scene. I want you to join my Night Avengers. This is Morbius. He'll get his own movie later. Don't worry about it.
Completely breaks.
Jake
We're gonna pull a
Johnson?
DC and
Yeah.
team you up early.
So Jake Johnson is going to be voicing Peter Parker in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie,
Ooh.
and they're apparently going to bring nods to Kingpin and stuff there in the Into the Spider-Verse movie too.
Nice.
So that's super interesting. I'm still really excited for Into the Spider-Verse. I see a lot of potential within that movie to be good.
DC, not DC. And Marvel Cinematic Universe gets animated.
That's the thing; it's not part of the MCU, which I'm okay with. I don't mind having that being a standalone thing.
I mean, they'll probably branch it off into its own universe.
Right, where they'll have like an
Considering they're
animated
calling it Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse with like an animated Spider-Gwen movie and things like that. I don't know if I'd be for that.
Dude, then we'd get Spider-Ham. What's not to love about that?
Okay, that'd be really funny, just because
Exactly.
Spider-Ham always just shows up in random shit. So, Marvel President Studio Kevin Feige is potential opening to making horror movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, okay.
Such as.
Like having a horror-esque, like a Poltergeist, where it's PG-13, but like scares the shit out of you. I don't fucking know, Zach.
You can make it work.
I don't know. They're really
I mean, just throw in Carnage and you're good.
So,
But I think
Zach,
that has to be rated R.
Yeah.
here, remember when you said because people's contracts are coming up, they're going to kill people off?
Yeah.
So, in a recent interview, two writers say Marvel Studios contracts don't dictate when or if the Avengers die in a movie.
It
So,
was just a theory that
I
was
know.
going around online, and I just...
You can still have a proper goodbye for a character. I just want to point this out. You still have a proper goodbye for a character without killing them.
Yeah.
Young Justice
Yeah.
as an animated series did that really, really well for some of their characters.
And then they killed them off later.
Or you thought they were dead.
And then
but
they were actually dead.
New details regarding Marvel's plans for Scarlett Johansson's solo Black Widow film is it states it's probably going to be a prequel featuring the Winter Soldier, which I think would be really cool.
White Wolf.
White Wolf, yeah.
I mean, he would be Winter Soldier in this one, though.
White Wolf.
Kevin Feige confirms Marvel Studios won't reveal any of its Phase 4 plans for titles until next Avengers is
boy.
in the rear view next year.
Oh boy.
I'm pretty stoked.
Oh, boy.
After what happened in Avengers 3, I don't want to,
Get a heads up on what's
I don't want to get a heads up because then that's
It
gonna make
leaves
me
a surprise there.
well, 'cause it's gonna make me overthink things.
Wonder
'cause,
how everything is gonna.
Yeah, because I think that was my problem after Phase 2 came out.
You know there's gonna be an end scene.
Yeah.
Give something away.
It's gonna take a handful of years for the Disney and Fox deal to go through, so we won't be seeing the X-Men or the Fantastic Four anytime soon. So
Oh no.
I'm not sad about that. It's not hurting me or anything like that. So
Eternally crying.
I really hope that they bring back Nick Cage in some role. The old Ghost Rider passing the torch to a new Ghost Rider.
you know he wants to be Doctor Doom. We talked about this last week. He
Nick
wants
Cage
he
wants
wants,
to be
do it.
Dr.
he wants to
Doom?
be Doctor Doom or the Joker.
All right,
Man,
fine,
right
but
or-
he has to grow out his Con Air mullet again.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
For the Joker or Ghost
No,
Rider?
Doctor Doom.
What?
So that Doctor Doom has a mullet. Doesn't he want to be Doctor Doom? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Fuck, would
Dr. Doom
Doctor
or
Doom have a mullet?
Because it would be awesome.
No, that's retarded.
The
John,
mullet
get out
of
of here.
evil.
Wonder Woman 2 will be
Everybody
another...
grows a mullet. That's the new Marvel Cinematic Universe. DC does the same thing.
This is why you're not in charge.
The Mullet Cinematic Universe.
Batman can't wear a cowl anymore. He just wears Robin's little fucking face mask bullshit so that his mullet can flow in the wind.
No, Robert
So
Downey
Wonder
Jr.
Woman 2 will
signed
be
on.
another
Make him grow a
period
mullet.
piece. Yeah.
Superman with a mullet and his mustache. Don't CGI it
What's
off
the
this time.
point?
It's gonna be in 1980s
What do you mean,
now.
what's
I don't
the point?
understand why
Mullets.
it should be in the 1980s though.
What's in
The
the
Wonder
1980s?
Woman
The new
Oh.
Wonder Woman movie.
Well, the other one was set in what?
I know,
World War
but wouldn't you
fucking
want to set it in one?
thingamajig?
It was World War One, but wouldn't you want to set it in modern times? Because it's kind of just
No.
Why?
what kind of a universe
No, because then they have
They
perfect
either-
setup for a time period for Wonder Woman 3.
They either have to acknowledge that Justice League happened, or they already have plans for the aftermath of that. They just want to go ahead. And
I
hope
mean-
that they can make another Wonder Woman movie that
And make
does
it
okay.
good?
If this
Yeah.
comes after the Flashpoint, it would make sense.
Okay,
because
so
she
fun fact.
She wasn't active.
you weren't here last week. It's no longer called Flashpoint. I don't think they're gonna go with the Flashpoint.
They've
idea.
changed it to Point Flash.
Now he just has a laser pointer.
Because when we were talking about Shazam,
I'm gonna go open
Black
the door. It's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Black Adam was gonna start filming soon. Eli's like, well, it doesn't matter because Flashpoint happening, and I just killed Eli's dream, and I'm like,
It's not my dream. I don't give a shit about DC.
but it's not. So
Yeah, talk about biases. I just have a bias against DC.
no, my fan should be on. But no. So we go down
Then that
into.
doesn't hold on. That doesn't make sense though, because in
turned your AC on. Thank you.
in Batman v Superman, he says that she wasn't after World War One. She wasn't active.
Right, that's what I mean. That's why it doesn't make sense to have it in the 1980s. Like, 'cause
Yeah,
you,
like I said, I figured it would be fixed with the Flashpoint. But since that's not going to happen, that doesn't make sense canonically.
Who said she wasn't active? What?
She said they discussed how she wasn't active after World War One.
You did though.
Bruce and when Bruce was talking to Wonder Woman.
Bruce.
Well then, she's
Guys.
a fucking liar.
guys,
What?
Sony Pictures just confirmed Jumanji 3, December 2019.
Did you say
two?
Welcome to the
Or
jungle.
is the reboot technically counts as 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, did you call it Jumanji?
Jumanji.
The game has to evolve, John. Come on now.
It's gonna be on the Switch.
Oh, you know they would do that, and they would market the crap out of it.
Upset if that's what happens.
Well,
I'm gonna make a prediction. It's probably gonna be a VR
Switch.
thing.
If the Switch becomes a
Oh, God,
wasteland
dude.
of just like half-finished garbage games,
What?
is that what we're?
No, I was saying that like I would be mad if the fucking Jumanji was, or the next fucking
Jumanji.
Fuck you! The next fucking Jumanji was on the Switch. God damn it. Anyways, you're fucking me up over here. I'm gonna dick slap the
Damn
shit
it.
out of somebody. Anyways, yeah, no, I'd be upset if it was the next one was like on the Switch. If they don't fucking go like
This
it's in
podcast.
VR,
This
then
podcast.
it'll
rates
probably
4
be pretty
stars for
lame.
that.
Fuck those 4 stars. I want my 1 star.
Anyway, oh, you wanted a 1-star, not a 4.
Oh no, that would be really bad.
Look at Walmart and
he
look
wants
at
his
card
one
for 5
extra
cents
star.
and leave a 1
You
star.
want 1 star
You
added.
can't buy one for 5 cents. They have a $2 limit.
Yeah.
Does anyone try to sell like planes cards for $2 then, or do they just like hold back
You
on
mean
that
like
shit?
just like basic lands or
Basic
what?
land
And
cards.
maybe like a hollow basic
Okay.
land because they're worth about $1.99.
What's
But
next?
But Guillermo del Toro backs scary stories to tell in the dark. Uday adaptation has gotten financing and is going to start filming this summer.
Cool.
It's actually one of my favorite horror books as
I
a
hope it's an
child.
anthology.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to.
Yeah, because that would be awesome.
And
And not just like a series of movies, because that'd be dumb.
So, the Han Solo star, the guy who plays Han Solo himself, Aiden Erickson, confirms he's signed on to a 3-picture deal with Lucasfilms, meaning the spin-off could get sequels.
gross.
Now, does that just mean he has to appear in any movie?
I hope so.
I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
would
Like, does that
Yeah,
mean
I think that
like,
means he has to
if he
appear.
shows up in the Boba Fett solo film?
Yeah,
that
he just
counts?
like bumps into him like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
And then they draw to see who shoots first, something dumb like that.
And
Or
then,
they just don't say anything.
and then
they just
neither one
bump
of
it.
them shoots,
Yeah.
and it turns out that
Both
all
shoot Greedo.
they do is pull out finger guns and go at each other, and then they're
And then
forever
Boba
mad
Fett just
for no
trips in
reason.
the Sarlacc pit again for no reason.
Well, he can't do that because then he'd be dead.
No, he's not. He's jetted out there.
slowly digesting over
He's escaped it 3 times.
Yeah, because of bullshit fan theories.
No,
Well,
no,
like
they
fans.
made those a
well,
reality.
Yeah,
I don't
true,
fucking
I
Yeah,
care.
guess.
I was gonna say he literally jetpacked
Comes
out
back
of there
and
once.
fights Darth Vader.
I mean, they're not canon anymore.
Like John, every year
All
of
that's still canon until they prove it's not.
anniversary of him falling in the
It's
Sarlacc
not
pit.
canon anymore.
Here's the thing: he fell in the Sarlacc
It was
pit in a
barely
in
canon
Return of the
before.
Jedi, and then fell in after post Return of the Jedi. That's how.
It was dumb.
I mean, yeah, it was dumb.
And then he's like sits outside of Slave One, shooting the Sarlacc pit from his ship. Every year of that anniversary of him
Great
falling, be like, I'm waiting, bitch. Pew!
Anyway, yeah, I don't think that it'll get like 2
What?
follow-up movies because
He
it looks
fell in
like they
Sarlacc
covered all
pit,
the
and now he
basics of
waits
Han
every year on
Solo
the
anyway.
anniversary to shoot it.
They've
Right.
got his origin story. They've got his fucking pistol. They've got Chewbacca. They've got the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
and
you were
Lando.
just
It's like,
looking about the
Gambino
trailer you
as
saw,
Lando as
where he like Woody Harrelson. That's the guy who's supposed to play Carnage, by the way. The guy who threw the gun
yeah,
at
gun at him.
yeah. Which is, he's got the gun with the scope, which he's never used that scope ever in his fucking
You
life.
don't use the scope.
I know,
It's
it's
the most
just
powerful fucking.
it's just an
handgun.
aesthetic
Yeah.
that like just has a scope. You're like,
If you use that scope, you'd probably break your fucking nose.
There goes your orbital ball.
So, Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin confirms that the long-awaited book, The Winds of Winter, will not be released this year.
Obviously. Like, it's probably gonna be like 2032 by the time we get the book, and it's gonna be.
I didn't know you were doing like
And
a
it's gonna-
nerd voice when you were doing that beforehand.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like?
You were like, "Wow, obviously."
No, I mean like I'm just fucking exaggerating my voice.
Okay, because I
for
thought you were having
comedic
a
effect.
nerd accent, that you were gonna do like a fake nerd rage
Well,
about it.
actually, I mean, no, George R. R. Martin's only like finished with like maybe 80% of the book, so we could possibly see it next year, or to the point of maybe like
Or
the
he's
year
a
after.
fat fucking who'll probably
No,
die before he finishes.
Exactly.
He's
it's
gonna die with a hoagie in his mouth.
Exactly what I
That's
was
why
gonna
he's
say.
doing it
Treadmill.
before we get that
Exactly
final
what I
version.
was gonna say. It's like he needs to get a treadmill that he can write the book on while he walks. It's probably gonna come out in like 2032, and it's gonna be like 75% of the book is written by him.
Did you hear that?
And
he, like,
the other 25 is like written by somebody else because he died
the
before
Game
he
of
finished it.
Thrones writers
Written
just
by
take the
J.R.R.
rest.
Tolkien's kids.
Yeah,
Just
basically.
finishing up after.
But no, like I could have told you that book wasn't gonna be
Yeah,
out
no,
this year,
it's-
last year.
Did you hear that? Like he types on like a Windows 95 computer.
That's probably why he doesn't get anywhere.
Yeah,
He's
he's
probably just tried to save, and it just takes like the next fucking 3
like
days.
the he like types in like one sentence and nothing comes up
Yeah.
on the screen, and then you just hear all these dial-up noises, and then, like 30 minutes later, it like slowly types up what he wrote.
Uploads to the cloud with his Windows.
It
no, like-
still has
like-
dial-up too.
I think he said in an interview that he like has not changed his computer. He has not changed his computer setup since like the 1990s. I'm like, good God, man.
I don't know why he would do that, since he obviously has the fucking money to do that. Buy a supercomputer that writes the fucking book for him.
Or maybe he's just like looking at fan theories because he doesn't really know how he's supposed to end it, so he's just looking on the
No,
internet.
he looks at the fucking show and then he's like, "Oh man, I didn't think of that. I better put that in my book." And then that just it's a bad writing strategy. It's just bad.
Is that what happened with the last book?
I don't know.
Oh,
To be honest.
Did what happen with the
I
last
don't
book?
even know when the last one
I
came
wasn't
out.
paying attention. 2011.
Okay, well I read them all 3 years ago.
That would have been 2015.
A year after the first court case trying Bill Cosby for aggravated indecent assault, the actor and comedian has been found guilty.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because they threw out, or they kind of like, not like threw it out, but like
It's kinda weird.
basically were like, yeah, there's not enough evidence. Like a year ago, and like there really isn't any more evidence, and now they're just like, yep, guilty.
Well, yeah, but they finally forgot his fucking Fat Albert impression.
Yeah.
So like, oh shit, maybe he did do it.
Yeah.
This is to me. Okay, here's where I stand with this. This is one of the few times where I'm like, I'm kind of happy that someone finally was found guilty of some shit. And like, cause last year when he was not found guilty, and like that first video of him walking out of court, and he's like, they're like, "How are you feeling, Bill?" He's like, "Hey, hey." I'm like, "You piece of shit."
Okay, to be honest, like if I was in that position for whatever reason, and I was
Crazy old man rapist.
yeah, and if I had gotten out of that
Get
court,
there.
if I was actually innocent and had gotten out of that courtroom, with people being like, well, there's not enough evidence, we're gonna say that he didn't do it, I would be like, holy shit, thank fucking Jesus. I would be going to church that week.
Thank Jesus they
I
didn't
would-
find the rest of the evidence.
I would be giving all of my money to charity. I would be like parading myself up and down the street like, thank fucking shit, I ain't going to jail. I'm happy as fuck. Finally don't want to kill myself.
It'd be like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3.
Granted,
Strutting
if
down the
I
street.
was guilty, I would also feel that way.
Okay.
So
Well,
I
We'll
don't
never know if John's guilty.
Because you
I-
keep doing the same
I don't
thing.
like the cases that are like this Bill Cosby one because it's like I can completely understand why people wouldn't come forward about something like this right away. I also don't like the idea that people can come back about something like this 20, 25 years after it happened and then it becomes a thing.
John's hiding stuff from 25 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even 25.
Yeah, what are you hiding from 25 years ago, John? What did you do?
Killed his mother.
Self-evacuated myself from my father's testicles.
Matricide.
Alright, so this is way off topic, but I had this like thought process earlier.
Oh,
Actually, it
boy,
was
I'd
kind of
rather
more like
if
a
you-
dream.
If you
It's
just
like
didn't, you just didn't.
you know how like everybody is like the one sperm that made it, and you're like 1 in a billion. Like just imagine all those other ones that are like getting loaded into fucking dad's roller coaster by like his like nut producer factory workers, and they're like
Why do you picture
they're like they're like airplane loading guys, and they're like directing all of the sperm into the like roller coaster, and they're like seating them into
You
position
need
and
to take some biology classes.
they're like buckling them into their little carts, and then they're like ready for fucking ejection, and like then they do a countdown, and then it's like they send the like little roller coaster thing with like 200 little dudes in it, and they're just like "Whoa!" like really fast, and then they get this like upward motion, and then they're like, oh my god, we're gonna make it, and then they start going down, and they're like, oh my god, shower drain. And then they all die.
Fucking
Except for one. And that's us.
Yeah, I don't think you have a good concept of the human body. And
I mean,
biology
obviously, that's not how it is. There's no roller coaster inside your testicles. But,
Why a You know what?
What do you mean,
no,
why a
no,
roller
no.
Don't engage it. What's the next thing?
Anyways,
That's what I mean.
back to fucking...
I'm going past the.
Back to Bill Cosby.
Oh my god.
Going past
Um,
this.
Oh my
No,
stomach.
it's one of those things that, like, there's a lot of evidence against Bill Cosby, but I don't want to be like, I'm skeptical of it, because, like, obviously I don't know, but it's just one of those things, like, I wish that, like, people were like, okay, I get it, I'm really nervous about coming forward, I don't feel comfortable in this situation, but if this happens, you have to fucking say something.
I know.
In the moment.
I get you. I get you.
No,
but,
no,
like,
no,
times
no.
are different, like-
Just let me finish.
Okay.
If they don't say anything, I really think that there should be some sort of repercussion for waiting, especially this long, because there's this much evidence, which means that this happened to someone 30 years ago. They didn't say something. He did this hundreds of times to other people over the course of 25, 30 years because you didn't say anything. I don't want to be like, it's your fault, but for fuck's sake.
It's
This is
hard
a
line.
personal opinion. This is a
Yeah.
personal opinion. It's very difficult. I get that.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for people to come forward. We gotta get people to get over it.
Right.
Not get over what happened. Get over not being able to say something.
Okay, so
Because you are in turn letting this happen again. It's not your fault that it happens again, but there is not a responsibility, but like a... It's really tough to talk about this because I'm not trying to say that people that this happened to are at fault for it happening to other people. But you have to realize that if you aren't going to say anything, that opens it up for another person to have to take that responsibility.
right.
If you say something, there is definitely a chance that it's not going to happen to somebody else. I know it's hard, I know it's not easy, but for fuck's sakes, don't just let it happen to somebody else. And that's one of the reasons why this kind of case aggravates me so much. You have so many fucking people coming forward that it's almost like an absurd amount that's like, I don't know if I believe that there's this many people, but it's definitely like totally fucking possible. Like with the amount of time that he was given to do this, you could easily do it to that many people and way more.
Can I ask you, with this in mind, do you feel the same way about, say, someone who's been adamantly on Twitter saying he hasn't sexually assaulted people, and that those people are liars, but there are numerous people saying he sexually assaulted them?
That goes back to what I was originally saying. I don't know that it happened. I don't know that it didn't happen. Nobody really knows.
Okay, no,
like,
I get
obviously, Bill Cosby actually knows what happened, but that's because if he did it, he was not drugged when it happened. He didn't do it, and if he didn't do it, then he knows that he didn't do it. He's pretty much the only person that, other than if it did happen, the people that it happened to, or if it didn't, the people that are saying it did, it's just them and him.
Right.
Those are the only people who know for a fact whether it happened or not. Everybody else is just kind of on the outside, and we have to try and figure out whether it did or didn't happen. And again, it's another reason why it's like, if you wait, especially this fucking long, it's so much more difficult because there's absolutely zero physical evidence that exists anymore.
Right.
If this happens to someone and they go like next day to the police, there is legitimate physical evidence still there that they can look at, and they can be like, she was definitely sexually assaulted, and there's a potential that like his DNA could still be somewhere on her body.
Mm.
And you wait 25, 30 years, it's still, there's still a possibility that like permanent damage has been done to the body from something like that, but it's also possible that that damage has healed, or at the very least healed enough that you can't exactly pinpoint what it is, and then any DNA trace is obviously gone. And I don't know. It also is really frustrating because a lot of these cases are technically outside of the statute of limitations to begin with, which is a really shitty situation in and of itself for victims if this potentially happened, because they have to basically be like, all right, we're going to make a special exception to basically your fucking freedom of rights as an American to do something about this, to punish him. And that's a really shitty thing because I don't like fucking with amendments, regardless of what it is. Like, they're there to protect people. It's why I don't like talk of fucking censorship. It's why I don't like gun control talk. I don't like fucking with that stuff. Even though, like, if it did happen, I want Bill Cosby to be fucking locked the fuck up. Obviously. I mean, anybody who, if they knew for a fact that this happened and still didn't want Bill Cosby to be locked up is fucking gross. But yeah, it's a really fucking, it's a controversial topic. It's really hard to talk about because I don't want to blame victims. I don't want to say immediately that people are lying. I don't want to say that it's their fault. But when you wait this long, you have to take some of the blame for it happening to other people. And I mean, it's really difficult too because Bill Cosby meant a lot to a lot of people. And I mean, for me, it'd be like finding out Mr. Rogers really did fuck kids. And he definitely didn't, so.
That we know of.
No, we know for a fact. Mr. Rogers was a great person. Anyways, let's talk about something a little bit nicer. Like,
yeah,
not as bad.
Rick and Morty creator Dan Harmon says he's optimistic about the progress being made in the contract negotiations regarding season 3 for Rick and Morty.
Season 4. He talked about this on his podcast a little bit a couple weeks ago. Well, he talked about it a lot more a couple months back. Season 4 has been finished writing-wise for a really long time. Basically since season 3 finished airing. But Adult Swim didn't buy it right away. Like, they didn't purchase it. So like if and then he was talking about it a couple weeks that they were kind of like, he was talking with someone. He didn't say if it was Adult Swim, so That'll be kind of weird if anything comes with that. But so it'll be kind of cool. Like if we end up seeing season 4 a lot faster than we ended up seeing season 3. So
I'm glad. So there's going to be a new Star Wars animated series titled Star Wars Resistance.
We
Yeah,
already had Rebels. Why do we need Resistance?
because they're resisting instead of rebelling.
Probably against the First Order.
yeah, it might be
versus
like
the Empire.
yeah, it might be like a
It's the spiritual successor to Star Wars Rebels.
it might be like an in between episode 6 and 7 kind of thing. Kind of
Or
how
even,
like
kind of during 7.
yeah,
You'll
or
find
yeah.
out who Rey's parents are.
Basically, it could essentially
Is that
be
a thing it
similar
says
to.
on there?
No, I'm just making up.
It could
lies
essentially
now.
be similar to how Rebels was like an in between
Yeah.
3 and 4 kind of thing.
But it still brought in characters.
Yeah,
from the main
yeah,
series.
definitely.
Nickelodeon's reviving Double Dare.
I don't
Yep,
remember what
that's
this is.
Yeah, it's the thing where they do dares and then they get slimed.
Oh,
Sounds dumb.
yeah, the
An
whole
obstacle course.
Nickelodeon slime.
It's a little weird.
It was always kind of weird because it's just like, why is this
Do you
on
hear what
right
it's
now?
made
Get
out
back
of?
to-
It's like corn syrup and rubber.
Well, yeah, I figured it's probably just like fucking loaded with food coloring. But it was always kind of weird because like it was really popular, but like almost nobody really cared that it was a thing. So it was like, you just got slimed, and I'm like, just get back to fucking cat dog already. Like, fuck.
So they're canceling the Evil Dead series, and Bruce Campbell said he's no longer be Ash.
The Netflix one or
Yeah, the one that's on Stars. Yeah,
or Stars.
yeah,
I thought that was really popular.
yeah. They're canceling it after season 3.
Is there a reason, or is it just like, nah, we're done?
There was low ratings on season
Oh.
2.
Yeah.
So Netflix
You
and
like
DreamWorks
Ash
are
vs. Dead?
teaming up to make a Fast and the Furious animated franchise, and if it's as good as that
Jesus
Spy
fucking
Kids,
Christ, really?
is
An
it just-
animated Fast and Furious?
That
For
way they-
kids, for
that way
kids.
Paul Walker can come back in.
So,
For
so
kids.
it's like those shitty Hot Wheels movies that were actually not that shitty. I like those
Yeah,
a
but if
lot.
it's
Oh,
anything
Battle
like
Force
Fast
5
and-
was fucking cool. You shut your
Dude,
mouth.
Hot Wheels World Race, like, I watched that on Cartoon Network and then watched it again so that I could record it on VHS.
It's anything.
So that I could watch
Dude,
it
I
whenever I
watched
wanted.
Battle Force 5, and I fucking love that. It was
I
like,
think Battle Force 5 was like basically the sequel to World Race.
it was like, yeah, because it was like Power Rangers, but with like
Yeah,
Hot Wheel
I think
cars.
they had the same characters, or at least like 1 or 2. I don't remember.
Yeah. And like they had like a magnetic car, and then like, oh, dude, it was weird.
I don't know. I just remember like one of the fucking cars was like this fucking shiny blue looking like van thing that like the entire front end was like a door and then it flipped up and it had like a truck bed that was not a truck bed. It was just like a flat piece and there was 2 surfboards in it. And I'm like, the fuck is this? And then it had jets on the bottom of it that would shoot it up into the air. And I'm like, what? This is a fucking surfer van with fucking jetpacks on it? The fuck am I watching?
You surf the skies.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that was a line in the movie.
Oh boy.
But it was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, so
I don't know. I liked it a lot when I was a
Yeah.
kid, but granted, it came out when I was like 9, maybe. I don't
It's 'cause
remember.
I was
It was a
10.
long time ago.
But that's the thing. Netflix has been shitting out these shit animated movies for a while. Shows for a while. They just
I don't know.
released
Shitting out all shitty movies.
They just
for
released
while.
a Spy Kids animated show that looks god fucking awful.
I guess I don't
Big
know. I
Mouth.
haven't watched.
The artistic style of Big Mouth.
See,
is
Big-
one of the most offensive things to my eyes that I've ever seen.
Big Mouth is really weird because like some of the jokes are funny and I want to laugh, but there's so much fucking like 14-year-olds with boners and shit that I'm like, should this be illegal?
I don't know.
Like-
Where the part where she talks to her clitoris, yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
weird. It's weird.
It's just kind of weird generalizing how young the kids are supposed to be, I
Now,
guess.
I've never actually watched the show.
I've watched part of it. I haven't finished it, and that's because I
Because-
just feel weird watching it.
I don't hate myself quite that much.
Some of the jokes are funny.
So,
And then it's like a really hit and miss show too. even without the
Seems
whole awkward
just like
kids
something
thing.
that would be just terrible for.
It's like sometimes it's funny,
I don't
sometimes
think I'd
it's
find any.
sometimes the jokes fall so flat that it's like that was legitimately like bad. Like I actually don't like any of this episode because that one joke was that awful. And then I always just feel awkward anytime there's there's a part where he like fucks his pillow and they like animate it and he's like I think he's like 13 or 14 or 15 or something like that. And he like constantly has a fucking boner. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, teenagers are going through hormones, but like I didn't basically just live with a hard-on throughout my teenage years. Like I don't understand how this is supposed to be relatable. And the only reason I bring that up is because there's people that are like, it's funny because it's relatable. I'm like, really? Like you were just fucking hard 24/7? I don't know. I guess I probably agree with Eli's mom in that there's like times where it just is like too far.
So when does my mom have an opinion on Big Mouth?
Your mom has an opinion on my comedy. Just bringing it back to Eli's mom. I had to find a way.
That sounds so weird.
I'm
That does
here.
sound
I'm
weird,
here, and
yeah.
I'm gonna be gone next week, so I had to fucking bring it back.
Okay, so they're no longer making a Tremors TV show.
Fuck.
That got kiboshed after the pilot episode. Sorry, John.
Eat a dick, Eli.
Trevor's
is
you get
the
for making
boss.
fun of my mom.
I'm not making fun of your mom.
She's a nice lady.
I don't even know your mom, and I like your mom. Because she likes when we fucking talk about things other than sexual jokes.
Alright, thank you for listening, guys. Don't forget to
man,
like,
that's gonna
subscribe,
be
and
the
share
end.
if you'd like. And,
Well, I mean, there's nothing else? I thought there was one more.
uh-uh.
Oh, Trevor's was the last thing?
Yep.
Okay, well.
Ending
Shit.
on a shitty note.
Yeah.
I know! Fuck you! Trevor's is awesome! Trevor's
Trevor's.
is awesome!
Trevor's. I'd watch that.
It's
Alright,
a
guys,
bunch
bye.
of guys named